Hi, I'm Suzie from Nail Career Education. Recently, I did 2 videos back to back. The milk bath nails. I applied fresh and dried flowers in those 2 nails. Many of you wondered if the fresh flower would decay inside the nail. It's been about 3 weeks. Let's check it out. So this video will be a bit different. I won't really have a reveal shot because we want to discover if after 3+ weeks, if the flower actually decayed inside that nail or not. Now I did it both with acrylic and gel. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a really good video. I really like the outcome. It's just beautiful. I'm gonna wear a mask. Usually in my videos I don't because it's hard to communicate, but I'm doing quite a bit of filing. That's what this video is about. We're gonna just discover what's in there. So I got my little file. I got a really good bit that can just dig this out. And this design is from a previous video. It's really cute. It's got the shell on top. And we'll just dive right through that. Now this one, if I remember correctly, was this one the acrylic one, cameraman? And this one, he did all the editing, and so he's seen it more times than I have. This one was the gel, this one was the acrylic.
Yes.
So I'm just taking off all the gel. This is just one of the designs I did in the video thereafter. So like I said, I did shoot this video about 3 weeks ago. It turned out to be such a long video, so we did 2 videos. We did it 2 weeks back to back. So it's a 3 weeks plus that this nail fill is that old. And we want to dig in here and see if we have any decay whatsoever from that nail. I will say there does look like to be some browning, because even though those flowers were yellow going in, they are not that yellow anymore. They are a little bit browned. And those were the fresh ones, if I remember correctly. So let's just dig through. We had a clear cap on there to protect all the flowers. And that's what I'm digging through. Yeah, there is definitely some browning. Because it's gradual, if you're wearing them with a clear color on top, if you're wearing it with a clear on top, it's a gradual change. So you might not really notice it that much until one day you look down and go, oh, weren't those yellow? I think now they've browned. Okay, so the yellow nails that I put in there definitely did brown. Now the purple one was also, I just about filed the purple right out. The purple one was also a fresh flower. Or was it? No, maybe it was the dried. And it didn't, but it's purple. So you didn't really notice maybe the browning, if it did, but I don't think it did. But it appears the yellow one did. You can really see that. Because I wouldn't put any brown pieces. Now, I will note nothing is sticky or uncured. The product is completely cured around it, whether it's browned or not. Okay, so it's not goopy or even decayed, you might say. It's nothing like that. Huh? So let's see if I can just hit a flower, like dig it out and see if it's mushy. Doesn't appear to be. Okay. Yeah, it's not goopy or like molding or decayed or anything to that degree. It's just browned a little. Okay, so let's take off the gel milk bath nail. And see how it held up. yeah, I don't really, I kind of thought maybe it would be maybe a little uncured around it, maybe. The product didn't cure enough around it, but it seems to be quite fine. So maybe that's something to think about if you don't cure, if you don't have the right lamp that matches the product, and if it's not cured properly, maybe you might discover more. Some people were having a problem with like molding and really bad decay with the nail, so maybe that's the issue. But if the product is cured around it, I'm not seemingly a problem here. Let me dig just a little bit more to make sure that that stands up right through the nail. Let's just cut it in half too. We'll cut it right in half and we can look down and see, yeah, no rotting material, nothing like that. I mean, I would suggest that if you're going to do it, I would definitely use a dried flower and put it between a book for a couple of weeks and dry it right out. The reason being is because when it's flatter, it's easier to apply. The reason why I think some don't is because it's kind of a, you don't think of it 2 weeks ahead. You kind of want to do the fresh flowers now, especially if you're a client, you're going into the salon and maybe bringing the flowers and you put them in right away. So I get that. But if you have the time, it'd probably be best to just cure or dry them.
One viewer had a suggestion you could try. She thought maybe you should soak it in alcohol first. That'll sterilize it. And then you can let them dry out.
Yeah.
Don't know if that would work, but it seems like a good
Might
idea.
help it dry out a bit faster.
Yeah, both. Sterilize it and do it. So
what a smart girl.
That might be something worth testing in the future.
Yeah. Smart cookie. I never really got that far in thinking about it, but that's clever. I wonder if they tried it and that worked.
I'm not sure.
Maybe whoever that smart person was, they could comment below and let me know if they actually did that and it actually worked. It's so great to have this community that we can do this back and forth thing and really learn about. That's awesome. Okay. Well, I'm not having any issues, maybe because I cured the gel like it's supposed to be cured, but didn't have any problems with rotting either. Maybe because they were tiny pieces. I will say it looks a little browner than I remember it going in. Yeah, I would definitely say the yellow flowers were the fresh ones, and they definitely did brown a little. And I'm going to dig the yellow flower up to see if I see any moisture or any type of decay, and I'm not seeing that either. Getting impatient. Yeah, no, it all looks good. I would suggest this, though. If you are going to continue and you want to do more milk bath in your nail, I would replace it, though. I don't think I would leave this another 3 weeks. So if I was going in for a fill and I had milk bath nails and I wanted to freshen them up, you might say, I don't think I would just add more milk bath nails on top when I did a fill. I really think that I would shorten them right off, take it right down, and rebuild the whole nail again with the milk bath intention, right? Like from a new set.
What if they were cured, dried leaves? I
think if they're dry, they're totally fine.
Yeah. That's
only fresh flowers. Good point, cameraman. Yeah, just if they're fresh flowers. Well, I think that was a really good experiment. Kara, did you want to do some questions?
Sure.
So Sue asks a great question. Why are my nails getting so thin under the polygel? That's a good question. So the polygel's not making the nails thin. It's the prep of the natural nail that's making it thin. That's the problem. I can understand why she might think that. Anything you put on top, it's going to get the blame, but it's how you prep it. So be very careful on how you're prepping that natural nail. Bridget says, my nails are really wide and my cuticles are more straight than rounded. I have tried polygel nails, but the forms don't fit. I have to push down really hard, which makes the product squirt out the sides or out and leaves only barely a thin layer on my nails. I desperately need advice. Help me, Suzie. So it looks like there's a couple things going on. She first says that her cuticles are more straight and round. And then when she says she's pressing down, so I'm assuming she's talking about a tip that you can actually press down with the product on the inside, and you press it down and then you cure it so it can stay on there. Yes, when you press those down, it does squirt out the side. There's a bit of pressure you have to get it on there, but maybe you need a little more gel in between that natural nail and the tip. so that there's a barrier in between. Maybe there's not enough product in there. And yes, it does squirt out the side. That's one of the reasons why I don't like that particular method, because it does squirt out. It takes a bit of a technique. And when it squirts out, it's touching the skin, or you're trying to wipe it away, and you can't really do that before you nuke it because you're holding it. And if you're doing it on yourself, it makes it really hard. But once it cures, you can file it away, which is one thing you can do. Now, something else she asks, her cuticles are more straight than rounded. What she's saying is this shape of her cuticle in here is not fitting the tip. So as I had when I did my video about that, my shape is quite different. It's like a different pair of shoes. I mean, I wear a certain size. Not everybody can wear that size. And that's the thing with those prefab tips. It's not going to match everybody, but you can file it to shape it. But you've got to be accurate because you're sort of fitting something into something. It's sort of more or less a guess when you're trying to file those tips. Then she says the forms don't fit right when she's trying to do polygel. So yeah, forms sometimes don't fit right. And I think she's talking about the prefab form, not a paper form. So there's a lot of problems going on there, but I have done several videos on it. You can check them out, especially the Apri video. I do give some instruction on that and make it look fantastic by doing a few pro tips. Okay, let's get the next one. And he asks a question, can you do this without a UV light? So they're talking about the 101 gel nails that I was doing. And anything that's a gel nail, you have to use a UV or an LED lamp. Whatever the gel product asks or recommends that you should use for the UV light, you should use. So when you're using a gel, most often you are like 99% you're using a UV or an LED lamp. But the company will say, if you just read, it will say that it needs to go with their product. And I would use the recommended light. Good question. So Kayla says, I look forward to your videos every single week. You're just amazing. Oh, and then she comments to her comment, I also think maybe vlogs might be easier and people might like to see them. Yeah, I know I would. Okay, well, that's great. I do have an Instagram. It is Nail Career Education. You can find that on Instagram. And I do lots of behind the scenes stuff. I do lots of my story stuff, and it's really how I'm running the salon, what's going on there with the girls, doing my own nail fills, and maybe even just prepping for the next video. And I'm sort of asking you guys a question. Maybe I do acrylic or gel, stuff like that. So you can follow me there too. Well, thanks for joining me, you guys. And I'm really enjoying the answer question period at the end of the videos, and I hope you do too. Catch you guys in the next video.